present San Francisco Giants baseball on Comcast Sportsnet, part of the NBC Sports Group.
The Brewers lineup packs a punch with MVP Ryan Braun leading the way. In addition to Braun, the offense gets added pop from Corey Hart and red-hot catcher Jonathan Lucroy. It's up to Barry Zito to control the Brew Crew in the final game of the series. The Giants lefty is 3-1 this season, but has had a problem and trouble against Milwaukee. Zito and the Giants go for a sweep against the Brewers next. Day baseball here in Milwaukee as we come to you from Miller Park. It's the final game of this three-game series, Giants and Brewers. Hi again, everybody. I'm Dwayne Kuiper. Alongside me is Mike Krukow. Well, a sweep would be nice, and what they'll do today, Mike, is they'll give the ball to Barry Zito, and Zito has had a little tough time against these Brewers.
Well, I mean, this whole theme this year with Barry Zito is that he goes back against guys he's had trouble with, and he deals. He's done it all year long. There's no reason to think he's not going to do that today. He is a very confident pitcher. Plus, this is a team right now that is expecting good things to happen. It happens when you're on a roll, and right now they're on a roll, so hopefully it can continue today.
Hector Sanchez doing the catching, and he'll be the cleanup hitter here today in Milwaukee. All right, stay tuned. We'll take you to our Comcast Sportsnet studios for an update, and we'll do that right after these messages.
Giants baseball on Comcast Sportsnet Bay Area is brought to you by AT&T, the nation's largest 4G network. AT&T, rethink possible. And by baseball on Comcast Sportsnet Bay Area is brought to you by AT&T, the nation's largest 4G network. AT&T, rethink possible. And by Toyota. Check out the great deals at your local Toyota dealer today.
We've got a beautiful day here in Milwaukee for the final game of this three-game series. Our game time weather is brought to you by the Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk. Get to the beach. The admission-free boardwalk is open daily starting May 25th. It's a Friday. 68 degrees here at the yard. We've got winds at 6 miles per hour, humidity at 35%, and the roof is open, or kind of. I think we call it half open.
It's half open, and we don't understand why.
All right, let's take a look at the Giants lineup. Winners of the first two games in this series. It'll go like this: Pagan, Crawford, and then Melky Cabrera. See, Melky Cabrera leads the majors, 63 hits. Hector Sanchez, the cleanup hitter, then it's Belt. Arias, followed by Nate Schultz, gets a start. Emmanuel Burris, 8th. Zito, 9th.
On the hill today for the Milwaukee Brewers will be Marco Estrada. And he's kind of a swing guy, spends time in the bullpen. Somebody in the rotation goes down, he picks up that spot. 0-3 of the year, 4.63 ERA. Good strikeout walk ratio, though. And almost a strikeout an inning, as a matter of fact. But you're going to see a 4-pitch pitcher: fastball, curveball, slider, changeup, and a fastball that'll go low 90s. Never has had a start against the Giants, and really not a whole lot of history against the Giants. But he is going to try and salvage one game for these Brewers. Giants have an opportunity to sweep, and they have not done that all year long. Let's take a look at the defense that the Brewers will employ. Starting in the outfield from left to right, it'll be Braun, Gomez, and Aoki. He's Torres and Ramirez on the left side of the infield, Weeks and Hart on the right side, and Jonathan Lucroy will be in the squad, putting down the signs.
Giants winning Monday in 14 innings, 4-3. And then yesterday, hanging on to beat the Brew Crew 6-4 in regulation. Pagan could not get the weight off his bat, but finally he does. That will happen from time to time. So here we go. We've got baseball here at Miller Park. Glad you joined us. It is a bit early back in the Bay Area.
The reason they have a partial opening of the roof is they want to cover the mound and home plate with a shadow. If you would have it normally wide open, the shadows would come across the field and you'd have to deal with partial shadows between home plate and the mound later in the game. But by doing it this way, they're not going to have to worry about it, and they get a chance to have at least some of the roof open. So there's your reason.
Everybody's happy. And the 1-0 pitch to Pagan is popped up shallow left field. Moving over is Ramirez, and he's going to get there a little late. It's in the first row. So Pagan, 1 ball and 1 strike, hitting .297. Did not play on Monday. He was ill. Another pop-up out of play. But did get into the game and start yesterday. Hit behind Buster Posey, went 0 for 3, but had an RBI. There's your umpires. Kellogg behind the dish. From first to third, it'll be Cooper, Foster, and Timmons.
I think Jeff Kellogg's one of the best balls and strikes umpire in the game. Low ball preference, very consistent zone.
And that's how this game just started, with a call strike 3. Nothing fancy about a fastball that hits the outside corner. And here's Crawford.
Marco Estrada, originally from Sonora, Mexico, grew up in Southern California in Sylmar.
Crawford hitting .226. 1 for 9 in the series. And he takes a strike. A 91-mile-an-hour fastball at the knees. Melky Cabrera on deck. Now the Giants have done some damage in the first inning in the first 2 games in this series. As this is hit down the right field line, and it's foul. In both games, it was by way of Buster Posey base hits. A home run on Monday, and Posey with a double yesterday to knock in a pair.
First inning runs are good. They really do a lot to relax your pitcher. It's a nice habit to get into.
So 0-2 to Crawford. 0-3 to Crawford.
Let's take a look at our Ford right choice in last night's ball game. Melky Cabrera really set the tone early when he throws out Nori Aoki at the plate. I mean, this is a long assist, not one you normally see. Certainly not one where you see a throw come in on the fly with no bounce. A perfect strike to Posey. He puts the tag on, and this ballpark was stunned. And that's our Ford right choice. We should make that our Ford right choice for the next 2 weeks.
Yeah, that was awesome. Hitting .360. And he takes a strike. That one down around the knees. Cabrera 3 for 5 with 2 walks on Monday. 1 for 3. He scored 2 runs yesterday. And right now, folks, Estrada is throwing strikes.
Fastball's pretty straight, but he can go both sides of the plate with it when he's on. And right now, he's on. At the Long Beach State.
Little pop-up that Ramirez is going to run down. And a nice inning for Estrada. Zito coming out. And here's Ron Renicke's lineup. It'll go like this. Corey Hart will lead it off, followed by Aoki and then Braun. Braun, big numbers against Zito. He's got 5 hits, all of them for extra bases. So Zito avoid. Then it's Ramos Ramirez, followed by Jonathan Lucroy. The slumping Ricky Weeks. Weeks will hit 6. Then it's Gomez's Torres, followed by Estrada.
On the hill today for the Giants will be Barry Zito, 33-year-old. Actually 34. He's had a birthday May 13th. 6'2", 205-pounder. In his 12th year at the big league level. He is 3-1 with a 3.00 ERA. He's been fantastic. 28 strikeouts in 48 innings. And with Zito, I mean, he's going to be all around that strike zone with a number of different types of movements and different types of speeds. His fastball will go anywhere from 84 to 87. He'll cut it. He'll sink it. He's got a big curveball. He can change up. He'll throw anything, anytime. Now let's take a look at the defense playing behind Barry Zito. Starting in the Giants outfield from left to right. It'll be Cabrera, Pagan, and Sherholz. Good arms on the corners today. Crawford and Arias will be on the left side of the infield. Burris and Bell on the right side. And Hector Sanchez will be in the squad, putting down the signs.
So here's Corey Hart, tallest leadoff hitter in baseball, takes a pitch down low. Hart hitting .256 with 9 home runs, 20 RBIs. He's got pretty good numbers against Zito. He's 6 for 15, a home run. And here he falls behind 2-0. He's 0 for 7 in the series. That's 1 start on Monday and then a pinch hit appearance yesterday. Zito is missed badly on 3 pitches. It's 3-0. Zito trying to get used to the mound. At least that's the story I'm going with.
Well, that's true. I mean, I always think you have like about a 5-pitch vulnerability till you get comfortable on a hill. Never really seems like the bullpen mound is exactly like that of the mound of the main diamond.
Line down the left field line. This is a foul ball. From our vantage point, I didn't think that ball had any chance of being fouled.
I thought that was going to be fair by 90 feet. But foul by a bunch.
Yeah, it was. We lose view of the ball on balls hit down both those lines right in that area.
Tim Timmons, the third base umpire, making the call.
And the walk. Here's Aoki.
Nori Aoki last night really impressed the Giants with a double he hit off of Matt Cain that was right across the shoulder height. I mean, it was way out of the strike zone, and he just top-handed it to right center. It was an impressive at bat. Good high ball hitter.
Aoki with a bunt. Zito will flip it to Burris, and it's safe.
Good bunt. He is their best bunter. Zito had to wait for Burris to get over, and he threw high, causing Burris to go up with a jump. And indeed, Aoki safe. Eric Cooper, the umpire at first base, making the call. Pretty easy one. Watch Burris. You have to wait as a pitcher for him to get there. He was going over there hard. It wasn't Burris's fault. But the double clutch caused the high throw.
And now it's thrown into center field. But Hart was on the ground and didn't realize it. What did they? So here's Braun. One guy you got to be careful with as he takes one wide, 1 ball and no strikes.
Well, he's in a situation now where you can't walk him and you can't give him anything good to hit. Go get him. This is when you need one of those big old curveballs that get you a double play ball. And I think that big curveball is his best pitch to get a ground ball.
Two balls and no strikes.
Now Hector Sanchez is going to come out, bring some calm to the veteran left-hander Barry Zito. On days Zito pitches, if you're the third baseman, and today it's Joaquin Arias, you got to be on your toes, especially to a guy who will pull a big slow curveball like Ryan Braun. And when he hits them, they sizzle.
Two balls and 1 strike. 86-mile-an-hour fastball from Zito. Braun last night went 1 for 4, had an RBI. He's got 3 hits in the series. Three and 1. As dangerous a right-handed hitter as there is in baseball, and he's got count leverage against a guy that he's got ownage on. 3 and 2.
Blew it right by him.
The home run off of Bumgarner in the 8th inning on Monday.
Tried to go back foot slider with a 1-2 count, and he left it out in the strike zone up, and there's the result. So you know he's got plenty of pop. And the label you put on him is one of the most dangerous right-handed hitters in the game. No question. Oh, that's a good pitch. Zito taking a long look in at Jeff Kellogg. And again, he wants to call Hector Sanchez out. And he may tell his rookie catcher just to let Jeff Kellogg know that he thought he missed it. Watch how the ball is caught. And you see the movement of the glove. If he sticks that reception, he gets that call. But because there was play in the way that he caught the ball and the glove dipped down, that's what took that pitch away. And that's where Hector Sanchez has to improve.
Here's Aramis Ramirez with 3 home runs, 22 driven in, and this one's in the gap. And the Brewers are going to run for a while. The back runner drawn is being waved in. Here's Crawford's throw, not in time, and Aramis makes it a 3-0 game.
Ramirez not waiting around. The ducks on the pond. He's got the look of the guy that can do some damage, and he's got the reputation of a guy that can do some damage, and he jumps on the first strike and finds a gap, and it easily clears the bag. So Dave Righetti coming out now to try and pour a little water on Zito. He's got to be steamed at the air and about to miss 3-2 pitch to Braun. And now all of a sudden he finds himself down in this ball game 3-0. Barry Zito will have a dialogue with himself the whole time he's out there on that mound. He'll talk all inning.
So here's Jonathan Lucroy, 2 for 5 in the series. Not close. 1 ball and no strikes. Look at those numbers.
Now 533. I mean, that leads the major leagues. But you can just see the way he gets in the box. He's got some swagger and a lot of confidence.
On the ground to Crawford. And that was hit so hard it was like a pinball machine. And Lucroy's aboard.
Now this is turning into a nightmare inning. Oh, I think he got a lot of that bare hand on Crawford. Came up. Yeah, he's shaking his right hand. 2 errors already in the inning. Giants don't have anybody out. You cannot give a team like the Brewers extra outs because they get confidence offensively and they get on a roll. It's tough to stop.
So here's Ricky Weeks. Weeks at 158, 4 home runs, 9 RBIs. Three for 12 against Zito. There's a strike on a breaking ball. Weeks 1 for 2 last night. He struck out 3 times. And make it 1-2.
You look at that ground ball that was hit to Brandon Crawford. I mean, that was one where it started in the shadows, came out of the shadows, and sort of strobed on him. And as hard as that was hit, you think that may have affected the play?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's hard right now for the guys that are standing in the sun, and there are 4 defensive players in the sun. This is foul back. Like Mike mentioned before, the roof half closed does keep the pitcher and batter in the shade as this pitch is down low. 2-2.
That's a good 1-2 curveball there.
So it's 2-2. And a full count.
Well, they're good pitches, and from Ricky Weeks' perspective, man, those are pretty good takes. You're up there in a protect mode. You're thinking that you may have to expand your strike zone, and those curveballs are pretty good teasers.
Lucroy at first, being held on by Belt. Lucroy does not go, and that's ball 4.
3 walks and 2 errors. And if you want to know a recipe for disaster, you're looking at it.
It's Ramirez, Lucroy, and Weeks. Gomez is the 7th place hitter. Nobody out. With Cesar Izturis to follow. No balls and 1 strike.
Well, that was a home run swing. There was nothing single-ish about that hack at all.
Gomez using the Aramis Ramirez theory. And that's rolled foul. So a couple of good pitches from Zito, and it's 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes. And Zito casts that one high and away, 1-2. For Zito, 28 pitches and no outs. Now it's 2-2.
Those last 2 pitches were pretty easy takes. You know, you're sitting in an 0-2 count. You have that type of leverage on a hitter, especially the bases loaded. But you have a chance to throw something down around the strike zone, but you don't want it to be in the strike zone. But you want him to at least think about swinging.
You got him.
And that's the strikeout he was looking for. Now, if he could get a ground ball and get out of this with a double play and only give up the 3, the Giants would be ecstatic. Set up inside, this thing goes up and away, so kind of a mistake that turns out being a good pitch.
Here's his Torres, 0 for 6 on Monday, 0 for 5 yesterday. And Zito down around the knees, no balls and 1 strike. Ramirez at third, Lucroy at second, Weeks is at first. Foul back, 0-2. I think this is a sellout, but it's pretty close.
A lot of kids today, a lot of field trips. Kids come from school to a ball game. Oh, yeah.
Hit on the ground to Burris. Burris now charges it, and they're only going to get the out at first. Coming in to score is Ramirez. It's 4-0.
Now here's one of the really good parts about being in the National League is you get to face a pitcher when you're having a really gnarly inning going against you. Opportunity here to end this inning. Estrada has not had much success as a hitter this year. 0 for 8 with 6 strikeouts.
Out of play, no balls and 1 strike.
Yeah, Bernie Brewer's pretty psyched up about this first inning. He hasn't had a lot to cheer about so far in this series.
Two outs, 2 on, 4 in. Over Arias down the left field line. 2 runs are going to score, and Estrada's hurt. Estrada's barely going to make it to second.
A line shot. We don't know what there it was. It looks like his quad just knotted up on him. Whether it's a cramp or a strain, we don't know. But you see how he limped into second.
Mike, you asked about the shadows and the sunlight. There isn't any doubt that that affected that ball hit the Arias. Because major leaguers don't miss line drives hit right at them. They just don't.
That was the case. Ball coming out of the shadows, strobing when it gets to the sunlight, so it handcuffed Brandon Crawford earlier in the inning. And here, a ball that probably should have been caught doesn't get caught, and this nightmarish inning continues. Estrada's trying to stay in this game, but I don't know if Lacy will let him. Shane and Luke starting to get ready for the Giants.
So it looks like they've given Estrada a hit.
His first hit of the year.
Which is, in a lot of ways, it's generous. I mean, come on. I mean, Ron Renick's going out there and he's saying, look, we know it's 6-0 and you want to stay in there, but you got to go.
Oh, it's a manager's worst nightmare. Starting pitcher has been throwing great. You get a 6-run lead. Now all of a sudden you got to dip into your bullpen. What Ronick will probably wind up doing is pinch running a starting pitcher. And he is going to do that. It'll be Zach Greinke come in there. And he'll pinch run so he doesn't have to burn one of his extra men. You certainly can't bring anybody out of the bullpen to run. And then that guy's got to get loose down there in the pen right now. Injuries continue around Major League Baseball. This has been an unbelievable year for injuries.
So here's Corey Hart. Corey Hart takes high. Hart started out this inning by walking, and he eventually scored on the Ramos Ramirez double. This is a long run for Nate Scherholtz, and he's not going to get there, and it's foul. I mean, the way it's going, that should have been fair by 5 feet.
Should have hit the chalk. How foul was it? Not by a whole bunch.
Garth Orge is like, that was fair.
Just plead this case to Eric Cooper, the first base umpire. Manny Parra now starting to get greased up for the Brewers.
One and two to Corey Hart. So far of these runs, 2 are earned, 4 are unearned. And it's 2-2. Zito made an error on the bunt by Aoki, and Crawford made the error on the sharp ground ball. Down low to Corey Hart, 3-2.
Now, if Zito were to walk Corey Hart, you might see Bruce Bochy pull the trigger.
Yep, absolutely.
And go to Shane Lukes.
And Hart swung at ball 4. It's out of play.
.41 pitches for Zito here at the bottom of the first.
Nate Scherholtz drifting back, still drifting back. Nate Scherholtz will catch it at the wall. Giants have lots of work to do, folks. The good news, there's lots of time. It's 6-0 Milwaukee.
Baseball on Comcast Sportsnet Bay Area is brought to you by Big O Tires. Tires, service, straight talk. Big O Tires, the team you trust.
It's 6-0 Milwaukee after 1. When it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change and Tune-Up, your oil change tune-up and smog expert.
Matty Parra now on the hill for the Brewers. 19th time that he has been called into a game. Parra, a former starter. See, his numbers are outstanding. Almost a strikeout an inning, 0-1 with a 2.82 ERA. And what Ron Renick is looking for out of Parra is about 3 innings of work. And which would mean ideally around 50 pitches of work.
Now the good news, the Brewers have a day off tomorrow. So this probably won't affect what's happening with them on Friday, where they open up the series in Arizona. But the bullpen was chewed up a bit on Monday. Parra went 2 innings on Monday through 33 pitches. So here's Hector Sanchez. He'll be followed by Belt. And then Joaquin Arias. And the first pitch strike, and it's 0-1.
Parra's got good stuff. I mean, we were impressed with his stuff as a starter. We were a little surprised that he was put in the bullpen. Parra could give you a fastball, but at times it would go low mid-90s. Curveball, slider, changeup, everything's good.
1-2. Sanchez, a big home run on Monday in the 14th inning. As he shoots this one on one hop to his tourist. 1 out. Minor League schedule brings the Texas Rangers back to town for a weekend series June 8th, 9th, and 10th. Hey, watch it from a luxury suite. The number to call is 415-972-2298 or visit sfgiants.com. So Sanchez bounces out, and here's Belt. Belt shoots it off the top of Lucroy's glove. 238 with 11 RBIs for Belt. Belt way out in front, 0-2.
Yeah, that breaking ball broke him down. He's anticipating this is a fastball, and about halfway into it, he realizes it's not, and it breaks the swing down. He quit on it.
Same pitch. This time Belt takes it. It's 1-2.
Absolutely. Guy swings at it once. He's not seeing it. Throw it again. Parra put it right below the strike zone in the 0-2 count where you're supposed to. Good pitch. Now you can go fastball above the hands out over the plate.
Two and 2 on the appeal, no swing.
Then you go right back to another breaking ball. Change its sightlines, change its speeds, change its movement. Working a guy.
Arias to follow the 2-2 pitch to Belt, and Belt takes strike 3 call at the knees.
Fastball outside corner. And I mean, perfect location. You see LaCroix set up, bang. You see how solid that reception is with his glove, no play, and that means he gets that low pitch.
The pitch to Braun was a better pitch.
It was, but the way that it was caught is why Zito didn't get that pitch. You saw the difference in watching LaCroix. He was a good framer. And this is where Hector Sanchez is going to evolve into a a catcher that can do that, but you're asking him to learn how to catch at the major league level. So you have to be patient with him.
And a base hit to right field for Joaquin Arias.
And Arias today in batting practice, that's all he did was go to right field, go to right field. A couple times he did. He stepped out of the cage, was shaking his head, not happy, get back in, and he was doing this. And sure enough, first at bat, he executes what he worked on in batting practice. It's sort of success by design.
Plus, after what Sean Markham said in the paper this morning, I'm sure Arias was looking away.
Sean Markham, who was the starting pitcher in last night's ball game for the Brewers, basically said that's how they're going to try and pitch Arias in the paper today.
Well, we know Arias can't hit the ball away, so what did I do? He said I threw one in.
Arias hit the ball at the ballpark. Well, if Arias is reading that, he's looking away the rest of the day. He worked on it in batting practice, got a way fastball, and beat it to right field the way you're supposed to. Nice and bad.
Sherholtz hitting .253. One ball and one strike. Arias with his lead. And the 1-1 to Sherholtz is a bit wide. 2 balls and 1 strike. Emmanuel Burris to follow. Fouls it off the backstop. It's 2-2. If you just joined us, that's right. The Brewers in the first inning missed the extra point. Two pitch to Sherholtz is popped back just below us and out of play. Yeah, see, that's not the guy.
No, that's an imposter. He is not the rally banana.
Try to fool us. I don't think so. And Sherholtz digs this one out and dribbles it foul. Giants 3 games over 500 for the first time this year. Dodgers with a miracle comeback in Arizona last night. So they win and the Giants stay 7 back. 2-2. Good take by Sherholtz. 3 balls and 2 strikes. See the rally banana the last couple of nights.
He is the rally banana. Brings his own secret sauce. Oh yeah.
I think 2 bites that thing is gone.
Gone. Ready for a reload.
Arias will take off. The 3-2 pitch is pulled foul.
Yeah, this guy's just standing in.
Three and 2 to Nate Sherholtz. And the walk.
Nice at bat.
Yeah, if you get Parra to throw some pitches, then the wish for Renicky to get 3 becomes 2. And then more pitches, maybe less than 2. And you only got so many guys in that bullpen that can go more than 2 innings. And some maybe even more than 1.
It becomes an issue.
So just keep having good at bats and make that guy work. Here's Burris hitting at 200. Takes a strike. Burris in this series went 0 for 2 on Monday and then 0 for 4 last night. And 2.
Pulled his head on that one badly. Against Parra, I mean, he's got a lot of stuff that comes in from a low 3/4 angle. You got to think the other way, very much like Joaquin Arias proved in his at bat.
Side retired on the strikeout, and that'll end the inning. Bottom of the second coming up.
Sportsnet Bay Area is brought to you by Cache Creek Casino Resort. Swing away for big league cash only at Cache Creek. Visit cachecreek.com for details.
Brewers on top 6-0 as we head to the bottom of the second inning. It'll be Aoki, Braun, and Ramirez facing Barry Zito. Aoki with a bunt, a sacrifice that Zito was charged in error in throwing late to Emmanuel Burris. There's a breaking ball that's high. 1 ball and 1 strike. And he gets the call from Jeff Kellogg. 1-2. And that pitch is low. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
It's hard to forget about that 6-run inning you had for Zito. I mean, you got to do it. You got to wipe it clean, get people out. The one thing you do not want to do when you come out after a 6-run inning is walk the first guy to start the inning off, put yourself back in the stretch.
And that's fouled over the backstop.
You have your bubble popped and you give up an inning where you give up 4, 5, 6 runs. It is hard to get your concentration back in, but it really is something you have to overcome. And a lot of times that's a game that you can impress your teammates. You could throw a few zeros up there.
That's going to be out of play.
Eat some innings up that your bullpen doesn't have to eat up.
Well, look, Giants do not have a day off tomorrow.
They do not. They're going in. They got 7 more games left in this string of 20 consecutive. 4 in Miami, and then they come home and start a 3-game series against the Diamondbacks.
Get on the ground, belt to Zito, not in time.
Now defensively, it's going to be a tough play when you have your first baseman having the lead. And with Eric Cooper at first base making the call, he says that Aoki did indeed beat it out. And that's a bad call. Zito does get his foot down before Aoki.
Now maybe he's saying he missed the bag.
Zito saying, come on, killing me here. Now, he hasn't had any luck at all, unless you count the bad luck. That is a 1 hopper and a half. Watch how far out in front of home plate this thing lands.
That's the best play of the year.
That is a good one. You certainly don't expect that when you're a catcher. That's going to get Shane Lukes going quickly. And now you're not getting any strikes. Now, if you're in the batter's box, the guy throws a 1 hopper like that. This is not a cricket game we're talking about. This is a baseball game.
Yeah, a little unnerving. And there's a strike. 2 balls and 1 strike. The guy that should be unnerved is the third baseman, with the shadows the way they are. The likes of Braun, who hits the ball very hard. And that's foul. And you just hope they do hit it on the ground. So it's 2-2. Ramos Ramirez to follow. And Braun with a swing and a miss.
Second strikeout for Zito. And Braun really goes out of the strike zone chasing.
Here's Ramirez, jumped on the first pitch, cleared the bases with a double. And he did that in the first inning. Good breaking ball, 0-1. Oki takes off. Sanchez from his knees, no chance.
Sanchez almost hits Zito with a throw. He figured he had to hurry. He didn't have time to stand up. He throws from the knees, and watch how close this comes to hitting Zito.
Well, I just think Zito was surprised. Once Sanchez didn't come out of his crouch, I don't think he thought the runner was going.
I think everybody's a bit surprised that he stole the 6-0 ball game.
This is hit on the ground to Crawford, and Crawford will throw on to first. And here's Jonathan Lucroy.
Well, CSNArea.com has a new insider. You can stay up to date on everything Giants with Andrew Baggerly. Bags travels with the team. You can follow him on Twitter at CSNBags. Log on to Giants Talk on CSNBayArea.com all season long to read Andrew's news and notes on the Giants.
Lucroy reached on a Crawford error in the first, and he hits this high and deep to left. Cabrera back. It is gone. His 5th of the year.
You're watching a guy break out. He's having an incredible run with men on base. Came into this game hitting .533. That leads all the major leagues. And the first thing he sees, he yanks. And that was out of here by a bunch. RBI is number 28, number 29 of the year for Lucroy.
Here's Ricky Weeks. And a breaking ball for a strike. Weeks drew a walk and scored in the first inning. And the next pitch is high. 1 ball and 1 strike. Assuming that Zito did hit first base, if he did, well then Aoki was out. Swing and a miss, 1 and 2. But look, it's one of those days you're not going to get any calls.
No, he hasn't gotten a break. He hasn't gotten a call.
Tapped foul. So it's 1 ball and 2 strikes.
All right, let's see if his foot was in contact with the bag. And I think it is. And I think they should have gotten the out. Cost him a couple of runs.
And Weeks is out swinging to end the inning. 2 runs for the Brewers. After 2, it's 8-0 Milwaukee. Jazz Krugenkuip. Karen from Dallas wants to know, when flying out after a game, how long does it normally take before the team plane leaves? All right, let's see. Bus leaves 45 minutes after the game. Depending on how far the airport is from the ballpark, it can be anywhere from an hour and a half to between 2 and 2.5. Hart.
Well, the Giants usually at the ballpark will go through security. They have a team of security agents that check us all in, and we get on the bus. We'll drive right to the plane, get out, and get on. Then you have to wait in line to get clearance from, and you know, the busier airports like Los Angeles or Philadelphia or New York. I mean, you got to get in line. It takes you a while to get out, so it can take a while. With as much travel as big league teams have to make, I mean, you really try and make it as streamlined as possible. But sometimes, you know, weather and travel conditions can bog you down.
Well, I mean, as an example, the ballpark in Denver to the airport in Denver is usually we'll leave after a day game traffic. I mean, it might take you an hour to get there. Pagan, a slow dribbler. Hart missed him. And Pagan's aboard on a nice slide.
Ron Renneke is barking at Eric Cooper saying he did not miss him. Pretty good play with everybody involved. As it got past Parra, it looked to Hart that he was going to be the only guy that had a chance.
Good call.
Yep. Not an easy one either for Eric Cooper.
So it still owes the Giants one.
We'll forget about that in about a month.
Here's Crawford. Talking about travel, the worst is Wrigley to O'Hare.
Well, and the reason for it is if you get a day game, when you get on the freeway, you're right in the middle of rush hour traffic.
And even just getting to the freeway.
Yeah, that's right. It's about
line drive left field for Crawford. That's a solid single.
Solid opposite field base hit. Well, the Giants have to chip away. I mean, you're down 8-0, and you said in the first inning. The bad news, they're down 6-0. The good news, they have all the time in the world to chip away and come back, and that's what they have to do right now.
And a few shutout innings would help too.
Yeah, a few zeros from Zito or the bullpen. That's how you're going to get back in this game. But I think you have to have a game like this where it looks like it's hopeless early, and then all of a sudden you come back and win. Dodgers had one last night in Arizona. They were down 6-1 in that game. Came back and won at 7-6.
Here's Melky Cabrera. Tops this one to Ramirez. And everybody's safe.
And there you go. You need some breaks, and they just got one.
Plus, that's how you get hits if you're Melky Cabrera.
Ramirez has to lay back. And now the Giants catch a break. It's a play that easily could have been called out.
Well, they got the right guy up. Here's Hector Sanchez.
Next batter, the catcher, 29, Hector Sanchez.
Saw the Giants come back being down a lot in a ball game in Denver. Scored 7 runs in an inning after being down 6-0. So they know they can do this. They've done it.
Swing and a miss. I'm going to give Cabrera a fielder's choice, so that's not a hit.
I think it's the right call.
No balls and a strike. Sanchez now behind 0-2. Pagan, Crawford, Cabrera from third to first, and this is tapped foul right past Tim Flannery. Sanchez started to go but held up. It's 1-2. This has been a weird game, and we're only in the third. Serious.
What's going to happen the next 6 innings? Hey, it's always entertaining. You never know what you're going to see out at the ball yard. You're always going to see something you haven't seen before.
One and two. And the check swing roller foul. Hey, we strolled in here at 9 o'clock. We saw tailgaters at 9.
We did. We saw mimosas, margaritas, Bloody Marys, screwdrivers, and beer. 9 o'clock. Woohoo!
1 and 2. Parra with 35 pitches. And it's high. It's 2 and 2.
I'll say this about Milwaukee. They take their tailgating seriously.
They do. Yeah.
When they built this ballpark, they had lobbied to have a ballpark built downtown Milwaukee.
On
close
the water.
to the water. But they said, nope. Tailgating means too much to our people. We want to keep it the way it is, and they've kept this ballpark here.
High and deep to left field. Braun back. It's over his head and up against the wall. 1 run's going to score. 2 runs are going to score. Here comes Melky Cabrera. He's going to score. And it's 8-3.
I tell you, Melky Cabrera, it continues to impress. He's at first base, and he saw off the crack of the bat that Braun was not going to get it, despite a deke by Braun, I might add. And when it was all said and done, he almost caught Brandon Crawford. Sanchez knew he had this ball over the head of Braun. He thought he may have hit it out of here. And Cabrera winds up scoring standing up. I mean, that is great instinctive base running. So we know he can hit. He's got a great arm in the outfield. But he also is an instinctive runner. And that's a compliment.
3 RBIs for Hector Sanchez. Here's Belt. So don't stop now if you're the Giants. Let the Brewers know that you intend to hang around for a while. Belt takes a strike, and it's 0-1. Belt facing Parra in the 2nd inning, struck out looking.
Things have finally gotten fair for the infielders on the left side of the infield, with the shadow now going past the third baseman Ramirez. They are all completely in the shade, so it's got to be a bit easier to see.
Well, if I'm third baseman, I don't play in the sun.
No,
not now.
He's not.
Belt fouls it out of play. It's 1-2.
That's an old glove right there.
That's an old catcher. He's got the old style glove, the new style shades,
and an old style face.
I bet he played a few games.
Absolutely did. I bet he had a few old styles too.
1-2 to Belt. Belt hits this one on the ground. Corey Hart, a nice play. He flips it to Parra, and they get him. And Cooper now is going to have words with Belt.
And the game, kid. Cooper's got a short fuse.
Well, he's had it with all the close plays at first as well. Who's Bochy's going to come out?
Well, a nice play from Corey Hart. I mean, he hasn't played a lot of first base over there. Underhand feed. Oh, close play. Bang, bang. Yeah, I can see why Belt's upset. He thought he beat it. Now, Bruce Bochy's upset about a number of things over there at first base today. This is not the first time the Giants feel that they have been wronged at first base. This has been a very difficult day for Cooper. And right now he's running about 50%.
Well, 50% is not good.
Well, no, basically he could flip a coin and be just as effective.
So Arias is going to hit.
You get to know your umpires. You know which guys you can talk to and which guys you can't talk to. And Cooper with players, he's got a quick fuse.
Here's Arias. He takes a strike. Sector Sanchez now at third. Arias had a nice base hit in the second inning to right field. He's got to try to do that again. Nate Scherholz is on deck. And it's a slowly hit to Weeks. Weeks will make the play, and that'll end the inning. Giants with 3 runs after 2.5, 8-3 Milwaukee.
Is brought to you by McGraw Power Sports. Genuine motorcycle insurance for over 30 years. Ride with the real deal.
8-3 Milwaukee. There's an unhappy guy right now.
Yeah, that is a furrowed brow right there.
Gomez is Torres, and then Parra. The Brewers have the bullpen going, so it's not likely Parra is going to hit. And you know, maybe he hits. Ron Renneke may not want to go to his bench this early. Zito's breaking ball is down low. 1 ball and 1 strike. Hit on the ground as it flattens out to Crawford. 1 out.
Well, time now for McDonald's True Stories. On this date, 1981, that's when Yankees starter Dave Righetti earned his first career win by going 7 innings and giving up 2 runs. The Yankees beat the Indians 3-2 in New York. And in the bottom of the 8th inning, Dwayne Kuiper entered the game as a defensive replacement at second base.
I don't remember that. I don't. This is hit high and foul down the left field line and out of play.
You can't remember every game. You played 10 years for crying out loud. That's 1,600 games plus.
I don't remember that.
They had the young lefty going, gave you a day off.
Foul back, 0-2. Dave Fleming's going to join us. Well, not me, but he'll be joining you folks in innings 4, 5, and 6. I'll head over to the Sports Leader side. The 0-2 to his tourist, swinging a shot on the ground. Burroughs dives, or makes that Crawford dive. It's in and out of his glove. So his tourist with a base hit, and Sean Markham's going to hit. So Ron Renicky does go to his bench, but it's not going to be a hitter. It's going to be a pitcher.
So, as suspected, Ron Renicky is saving his extras. The way this game is going right now, it promises to be a little more entertaining. Nothing has been normal about this game.
There's the bunt, and it's going to roll foul.
I thought for 1 second Arias thought about picking it up.
Well, who threw out the first pitch? Charles Woodson?
Yep. Charles Woodson of the Green Bay Packers. And what did he throw? He threw a football.
Right. So we got a football player throwing out the first pitch. We got the makings of a football score here today.
Yep.
And every time a football player throws out the first pitch, that's exactly what happens.
It's unbelievable. Well, they're celebrating all across the state of Wisconsin today as Donald Driver won the Dancing with the Stars contest.
They are, absolutely.
Front page news here in Milwaukee. Packers rule.
Markham takes low and away.
Oh, there's the first pitch. And then he went to a baseball.
Yeah, he threw it pretty good.
He's got some skills. He balked, though.
Yeah, you were all over the balk. You were screaming, balk, balk.
Yes, I was.
One ball and 1 strike to Sean Markham. And Markham lays down a bunt, and it's foul. Markham, by the way, pitched last night and took the loss.
Wow, let's watch the reaction. He threw it there without bouncing it. Yeah.
By the way, he's good.
Yes, he
He's
is.
a good player. 8 Pro Bowls. 1 and 2.
Well, that's proof positive right there.
To Markham, and Markham bunts it straight at Zito. Zito look, now goes to first. And Corey Hart's going to hit.
Barry Zito needs to put a 0 up on the board.
Badly. Hart's going to be walked intentionally.
See the shutdown inning percentage for Barry Zito. He's had 15 opportunities after his team has scored to go out there and throw a 0 on the board. He's done it 11 times. He's about average.
So Hart takes the walk.
Shane Luke's up again.
So here's Aoki.
Luke's has gotten up every inning.
No balls and 1 strike.
It's tough when you're a reliever and you get a call to go down there and get greased up 3 times. I mean, you want to get hot, but you don't want to blow your arm up where you don't have any throws left. And 3 humps is tough. Got to get that ball down to Aoki. He covers that high pitch well. Very, very flat swing. You can see how he won 3 batting titles in Japan. That bat's got a flat plane and it stays flat for the whole time. And he is built for the high part of the zone. And you can say that about a lot of guys who aren't tall. They're normally high ball hitters.
And he just fights this off. It stays 0-2.
And Aoki is only 5'9". You'll see in baseball, you pitch the tall guys up, you pitch the little guys down.
That fan got the foul ball and he handed it to a kid about 10 feet from him. How to play it. Aoki's going to try to get a souvenir for everybody in the park today, at least down the left field line.
Well, he's working on it. That guy brought his glove. Oh, yeah. Let's watch the play. Backhander? You bet. Nice pick.
And a base hit to right field. No! Sherholtz coming over. And he makes the running catch. Nice play, Nate Sherholtz. Hey, Dave Fleming will be in here at Miller Park. It's 8-3 Milwaukee.
Visit MLB.com/fan guide for a chance to win a VIP experience for 2 this year at an MLB World Series game. Presented by Scott's, the official lawn care company of MLB.
Top of the 4th inning here at Miller Park in Milwaukee. It's 8-3 Brewers. There's a new pitcher now for these Milwaukee Brewers. And here to tell you all about it, Dave Fleming. Welcome.
I'll take care of that, Mike. It's Cameron Lowe who's on the mound when it's time for a change. Think Speedy, oil change and tune-up, your oil change tune-up and smog experts. So the big right-hander, Cameron Lowe, third pitcher of the game. Marco Estrada left with a hip flexor strain. And because of that, the Brewers are using the bullpen all game long.
There are his numbers. 20th time he's come in, 2-1 with a 2.25 ERA. He's got a very good sinker, low 90s.
Nate Sherholt swings at the very first pitch from Lowe and grounds out, one away.
You're going to see a lot of ground balls from Lowe when he's right. Big guy, 6'8". Went to school at Cal State Northridge. A high school teammate of Ryan Braun, which is pretty cool.
Now teammates in the big leagues. Now there's the reigning MVP for the National League. Ryan Braun, who's not been a big part of it. You figure it's 8-3 Milwaukee in the fourth inning. He had to be having a big game. He has not been much of a part of the offense. But now Burris struck out his first time up, and he takes that one.
Don't see it very often where you see high school teammates get to the big leagues. We saw it with J.T. Snow and Rob Nin. They were high school teammates.
Los Alamitos down in Southern California. Burris goes to bunt, and it's going to roll foul. Lucroy was just waiting, and he pounced on it as soon as it crossed the line.
Well, he knew he had no chance, so why not let it go and see if the grass is going to help you out? And indeed it did. And we saw college roommates or teammates, Mike Fontenot and Ryan Theriot. They were together with the Cubs. They were with the Giants in spring training until Fondo was let go. Fondo, by the way, is back in the big leagues with the Phillies.
The struggling Phillies. Nationals beat Philadelphia last night.
Yeah, the Phillies have lost 4 in a row.
They beat Roy Halladay. Bryce Harper had a big game against Halladay. One and one to Burris. Pops that one up foul. Aubrey Huff is in the on deck circle, so the Giants are going to hit for Zito here in the fourth.
Now they may change that too. If Burris gets on, I think they'll let Huff hit. If he doesn't get on, they may hit Matt Cain or Madison Bumgarner. With the 12-man pitching staffs, you know, which you didn't see a couple generations ago. Starting pitchers are being asked to do more.
Fastball away. Burris took it. Well, that is true. If it's a bunt, we saw Sean Markham in the third inning used as a pinch hitter to get a bunt down.
There's one year with the Cubs, he left camp with 9 guys. And, I mean, that puts 8 extra guys on the bench. A lot of moves for a manager to make.
Burris might have broken his bat, but he gets a base hit out of it. A little soft liner into right center field. It's his first hit of the series.
So Huff will hit. Well, the Diamondbacks are going to make their first trip to AT&T Park next homestand. That's right. Giants come home Monday. And they're going to open up with 3 games against the D-backs to kick off summer season on Memorial Day, which is Monday. It's a special 2:05 game time. Then Tuesday and Wednesday are both 7:15 starts. So come on out and see Giants baseball taking on interdivision rivals, the Arizona Diamondbacks. Go to sfgiants.com. Check it out.
So now Huff against Lowe. Shift onto the infield, and that pitch misses way up and outside. Ball 1. There's that shift with his Turris, the shortstop. The man pulled even farther than just behind second base on the second base side of the bag.
Well, the movement on the fastball from Cameron Lowe is going to run hard away from Aubrey Huff. It's going to sink and run away from him. And that's a pitch that when he's swinging right, he'll take right through the left center field gap. So I understand the shift, but it really doesn't apply if they're going to pitch him away and play him away, or if they're going to pitch him away because of the movement Lowe has. That's not an easy pitch to pull.
Huff, who said he felt real good at the plate, very confident last night, even though he did not get a hit. And he takes ball 3 outside.
Well, Bruce Bochy made a point of talking about that this morning. Said that he was happy with what he saw from Huff. See, I'm not going to run him out there in a day game after night game because I believe he's going to be sore having played all 9 innings. So he's still protecting the veteran.
The 3-0. Huff takes ball 4. So Aubrey Huff draws a walk. That's his second walk in 2 days as a pinch hitter. And the Giants have another rally going against Cameron Lowe. 2 on, 1 out. And back to the top of the order.
You're right. The bottom of the order have done their job. They've set the table. And this is where you like a guy like Angel Pagan to come up and lead off a ball game for you because he's got some power. Certainly more power than a normal leadoff hitter. And when you're down by 5 runs, he could run into one and make it a very interesting ball game all of a sudden.
Hector Sanchez with a big hit in the 3rd inning to sort of give a jolt to the Giants, who were down 8-0 through 2 innings. See if they can get another jolt here from Pagan, who's 1 for 2 with an infield hit, really a hustle hit for Pagan. Takes that one in for a strike. Lowe went away from the fastball to get a strike against Pagan. An average at 299. The power that Mike's talking about, not just the 4 home runs, but a lot of extra base power as well. Pagan, 8 doubles, 3 triples to go with his 4 homers. Takes that one away. Ball 1. Lowe's not commanding that fastball at the moment.
No, you're right. And it's up. And for sinker ballers, that's not good. That's when they can be had.
Brandon Crawford is waiting on deck. Pagan takes low. That sinker was down, but below the strike zone. 2-1.
Lowe pitched 2 innings last night, and he was 6 up, 6 down with a strikeout. He was very effective, but he had no problem locating the knee-high sinkers. Today, he has not been able to establish that.
I tell you what, this game, which felt like a lost cause for the Giants very early on, the feel of this game could change in a hurry with one swing right here. Pagan hit it foul. It's still only the 4th inning, 1 out into the 4th inning, so a long way to go.
Well, the folks here in Milwaukee enjoy their sunshine. And tomorrow it's supposed to get warm here.
It's going to be a hot weekend in Chicago and Milwaukee here in the upper Midwest. Two. Pagan takes strike 3 called, and he cannot believe it. And neither can Bruce Bochy. Pagan's really upset with Jeff Kellogg.
Telling Kellogg he thought that ball was down, but you have to know that that's Kellogg's zone. He will call low strikes. Pagan's got to stay in this game. That's low.
I mean, I think Pagan and Bochy, part of the reason they're upset, Kellogg has called low strikes. But Zito, there were a lot of pitches where Zito was pitching down in the zone and did not get those calls. Zito was ticked off about it. So now Crawford with 2 outs. That's a big second out for Lowe and the Brewers. And Crawford takes a breaking ball in there for a strike.
Again, Lowe starting off the at bat with a little flop slider in there to get a quick strike.
Crawford 1 for 2 with a line drive hit plus a run scored. Melky Cabrera, the Giants' hottest hitter, is on deck. That slider misses. And the Giants would love for this inning to get to Melky. Give him a shot. 6-run first, 2-run second for the Brewers. The Giants got 3 in the 3rd. Looking for more here in the 4th. Huff and Burris out on the bases. That one in the dirt. 2-1. Shane Lukes, who's had to warm up several different times in this game, is really just watching from the Giants bullpen now. We're going to see him on the mound in the bottom of this fourth inning. There's Shane. And he and the Giants hoping it'll be an even closer game when he comes in. Well, just doesn't look comfortable. He's stepping off the rubber. Now back on top. 2-1 pitch. Crawford lines one into right center field. That's a hit. Burris with plenty of speed. He'll score uncontested. Huff stops at second, but Crawford with the RBI single, and it's 8-4.
And that's an at bat right there that'll start to make these Brewers think. It's a big swing of the bat, and as you point out, it gets Cabrera up. Nice swing of the bat right there. Goes down and gets a pretty good pitch. Goes right back up the middle with it.
So Burris got the rally started with a hit. He comes in to score. The Giants could make it a big inning right here with Melky, who's 0 for 2 with a run. Hitting .356 for the year. Cabrera lines that one into left field. That's a hit. Huff will come around from third. He'll score. Crawford digging for third. Cabrera sliding into second with a hustle double. And this is a 3-run game.
He can hit. And the toughest guys to pitch to are the guys that take what you give them. Guys that don't try to pull you. You paint them something. This is not a hanger. This is a fastball off the plate away with 91 miles an hour behind it and movement that's running down and away. That's a sinker that he just flips into left field. Talk about the balance that he has. And he's had since the day we first saw him at spring training. I mean, you don't lead Major League Baseball in hits unless you can do that. And he's been quite impressive.
Just added to his MLB leading total, 64 hits on the year now. And if Hector Sanchez could come up with a hit now, this could be a 1-run game. And that seems almost impossible the way this one started. Give the Giants offense credit. Sanchez has, I think, the biggest hit of the day so far for the Giants. 3-run double that got him on the board last inning. Lowe spins that slider. He's stolen 3 strikes in a row against 3 different hitters with a first pitch slider. Sanchez, for the first time in this game, batting left-handed. Hector has 66 at bats this year. He has 16 runs batted in. He has 20 hits and 16 runs batted in.
That's impressive.
But he makes them count, and he's had a lot of big hits for the Giants.
He's got an opportunity here to add to it. Ducks on the pond.
With speed out there as well. 2 on, 2 out. He takes that sinker.
Go back to that third inning. He steps up there, the bases loaded. And takes a little cut fastball from Manny Parra and rakes it over the head of Ryan Braun. I think when he left the batter's box, he thought it was out of here.
Only problem was too much topspin. I mean, he hit it hard enough to get it over the fence. But the Giants certainly were not upset with the 3-run double. Now he swings and misses at the breaking ball. Key moment in this sequence. Angel Pagan called out on a pitch that appeared to be below the strike zone.
He's still steaming about it.
Yeah.
I don't blame him.
That was the second out. Sanchez strikes out on the breaking ball. But the Giants get 2 more and continue their comeback. Big hit from Melky. It's 8-5 Brewers.
presented by authority of the San Francisco Giants and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of San Francisco Baseball Associates, LP.
8-5 as we head to the bottom of the fourth inning. Giants making some noise offensively. Pitching change now as Shane Luke's come in. When it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change and tune up your oil change, tune up and smog experts. Third game that Shane Luke's has been in. And for Luke's, I mean, he can do a lot of things for you. He's got a fastball that'll go low 90s. Got a little sink on it. Got a curveball, slider, and a changeup. He's a perfect guy for a swingman and a staff. He was a starter for most of the year down in Fresno. And since he's come to the big leagues, he's worked out of the pen for situations just like this. Now, for a guy to have that role, you got to be able to throw 50, 60 pitches. And I think that's what Bruce Bochy is going to ask him to give him today.
Right out of the chute, he faces Ryan Braun. But a much different feeling game now. Braun had a good cut, fouled it back. Braun has struck out and walked, scored a run against Zito. It goes 3 innings, gives up 8 runs, 4 of them earned, though. 5 hits and 4 walks against Zito. Ball 1 to Braun. Talking about Luke's, Mike, his last outing came on Sunday. Giants and the A's. He pitched 2 really strong innings and then made 1 big mistake to the A's best hitter, Josh Reddick, and Reddick hit it out, gave up a 2-run homer.
You know, I think what happened there, and you really can't call him a young pitcher because he has been around. And but I thought in that particular instance, he thought he was going to be out of the game. As it turned out, they asked him to pitch another inning, and he went back out there. And you know, once you kind of think that your outing's over, to regenerate concentration, it's often a hard time to do it. Luke's is 32 years old, so he's no baby.
Braun hits that one deep down the right field line, but foul.
But I do think it affected his outing. Luke's a little over a year in the big leagues. He's been in professional baseball. This is his 16th year. 2 of those years he missed the whole years because of injuries.
Well, he was a guy, I mean, we're talking way back when, but he was a significant prospect for the Tigers. They thought he was going to be a part of their rotation for a long time to come. He was a high draft pick.
He's got over 100 wins in the minor leagues. He's kind of the Crash Davis of the pitching corps.
He's hung around long enough. He's gotten himself back to the big leagues. Braun takes the ball.
Yeah, you root for those guys, man. That's a lot of bus rides, man. A lot. That's a lot of bad food.
Yeah, the food is not glamorous down in the minor leagues, even at AAA. Braun breaks his bat and hits it foul off his foot and is not happy about either of those.
Well, Braun's not going to, I mean, you can't flip the bat. He almost hit Hector Sanchez in the head.
That would have been not good.
Now let's watch the bat flip. And he almost gets Hector Sanchez.
Bad form from a guy who's an NBA. He's apologizing for it there, I think.
Yeah, here's what he says. Sorry.
My bad. Strike 3 called.
All right, time now for our trivia question. It's brought to you by AT&T. And the question today: what team has the most combined RBIs in the majors by their catchers this season?
Well, we know a candidate. A couple of the teams other than the Giants have gotten a lot of production out of their catcher spot. Ball 1 to Aramis Ramirez with the slider from Luke's.
Had a catcher go down in Arizona. Miguel Montero.
Yeah. Hopefully, for the Diamondbacks' sake, not for long, but the D-backs blew a lead last night against the Dodgers. Blew 2 different leads. That was a remarkable Dodgers win. The Diamondbacks were up 6-1 well into that game. Dodgers came back and tied. The D-backs went ahead in the 8th inning, took the lead to the 9th, and the Dodgers scored 2 against puts and won.
Yeah, that's a statement game. The guy that got the big hit was just called up last week, Ivan De Jesus Jr. But this is the similar type game, and it's got a similar type feel to it. Giants were down 8-0 in this game, and they're marching back. That's why Shane Lukes has got a huge role in this game right now. Keep those zeros coming. Hold those Brewers at 8. Because right now, I got to believe that Giants dugout, they think they can do this.
There's a ball to Ramirez. Full count here, 3-2.
When Lukes is a starter, you're going to see more changes of speed. You're going to see a change up more. You're going to see more curveballs.
Ramirez strikes out swinging.
Good sinker. Out of the bullpen, it changes his style a little bit. You're going to see more sinker slider. Nice payoff pitch there to get the second strike out of the inning. Set up in the outside corner. This thing comes across the plate. That's big movement at 91 miles per hour. We'll see why Ramirez swung through this one.
So 2 outs, and you said it, it's an important not just inning but outing for Lukes after the Giants have built some momentum trying to come from behind here, and he has to face the 3 big hitters right out of the gate, and he struck out both Braun and Ramirez. This is the hottest guy of all, Jonathan Lucroy.
Well, he is. Leads the major leagues in batting average with runners in scoring position, over 500. 533.
Hit a booming home run against Zito, so he's 1 for 2. 2 runs batted in. There's that little slider.
You could tell hot hitters. We talked about that last night, things you look for when you're looking at opposing players. You look at their balance in the box. Well, right now this guy's relaxed and he's balanced. The 2 things that really stand out when a guy's hot. Against Barry Zito in the second inning, with 2 outs and 1 on, he steps up, hits the first pitch, a little cutter, and boomed it out of here. And for Lucroy, home run number 5 of the year, RBI is 28-29. Keeps this pace up, you're going to see him at the All-Star game this year.
He had a good year last year and has built upon it this season. That slider bounced well in front of the plate and got a big piece of Hector Sanchez.
Just a bit outside.
Here in Milwaukee with Uke a few doors down, we could definitely use that one. He lets us borrow it.
A nice conversation with Bob Uecker yesterday. He makes you smile.
Taking an inning off from play-by-play, having a little chat in the booth. Lucroy drives that one to the opposite field, and that one hit really well off the wall. You could hear it smack up against that padding. Sherholtz relayed it back in, but Lucroy into second with a double.
How hot is Jonathan Lucroy? And one of the things that he has consistently done this year is go the opposite way. Fastball that comes back to the strike zone at the belt, and he just goes right with it, just a flip of the wrist, and he smokes this thing. You can hear it hit the wall. That's a bad sound if you're on the mound. I guess it's kind of a good sound. Going over the fence would be worse.
Better than the cheers of the crowd and no sound of the ricochet. Lukes has a chance at least to get out of this 4th inning without allowing a run. He'll face Ricky Weeks here. Walk and a strikeout, run scored for Weeks. Those at bats against Zito. Way outside, ball 1. So Shane Lukes a little erratic with some of these pitches now. And he does have lots of movement on that sinking fastball. Nobody struck out more as a hitter in the National League than Ricky Weeks. Pitch is inside, ball 2. Lucroy in scoring position. It was 8-0 Milwaukee. The Giants have scored 5 runs to make it a 3-run game. There's a strike to Weeks. Weeks to right field. Sherholtz over, and Sherholtz reaches out to make that catch. So the double, but no runs for the Brewers. On to the 5th, 8-5 game. Ask and answer our trivia question brought to you by AT&T. What team has the most combined runs batted in the major leagues by their catchers this season? And the answer is the Giants. Hector Sanchez has knocked in 3 today to vault the Giants over the Phillies and the Blue Jays. Phillies with Carlos Ruiz having a big year. Blue Jays have excellent catching tandem with power. Here's Brandon Belt taking a slider for a strike from Cameron Lowe. That was a hittable pitch. Lowe is throwing that first pitch slider to just about every Giants hitter now. And that one kind of hung out over the plate, but Belt took it for strike 1. Now Belt takes a pitch up and away. Fastball, it's 1-1. Giants, who are down 8-0 in this game, but partially because of Hector Sanchez and his 3 runs batted in. 2 more in the 4th. A much different feeling game. Belt swings and misses. That slider down and in.
That slider's been a good pitch for Lowe.
So Belt behind in the count. Belt is 0 for 2. He thought he was safe. Bruce Bochy thought he was safe. On a ground ball. His last time up, that slider way inside.
Catchers love those.
Jonathan Lucroy, everything's going right for him at the plate these days, that's for sure.
He set up outside. They wanted to throw a little backdoor. I mean, I'm impressed he got a little body at all behind that thing. But he is an outstanding ball blocker.
Got a little piece of his hip into that one. 2-2.
But he had to get after it because it was a 2-strike ball in the dirt. I mean, you never know, the guy might swing at it.
Yeah. Mike Matheny, when he was with the Giants, used to say no matter what the situation was, he wanted to do everything he could to block a ball. He just wanted every pitcher he worked with to have total confidence in him. There is strike 3 called. Belt called out on strikes for the second time in this one.
Take a look at the AT&T U-verse reverse replay. And last night, Buster Posey hit a long home run to dead center off Sean Markham, and it slammed up against the base of the scoreboard. And everybody in this ballpark, especially interesting to look at both dugouts where this ball hit the scoreboard where it hit. Guys couldn't believe it. That is a swing of the bat that's going to get reputation around the league. Day off today for Buster.
And I'm sure it was hard for Bruce Bochy to give him the day off, but that's how they planned it ahead of time. And Zito has worked with Hector Sanchez.
You know, Mike Matheny, he did some amazing things that I'd never seen before. Number one, he ran with the pitchers every day. You got to know him. And when you run with the pitchers, it's an education. You're going to get to know the guys out there. And the other thing, too, I don't care if it was a bullpen, if it was the 8 pitches between innings when guys warm up before an inning, whatever. If he was in the squad catching a pitcher, he had his gear on, and if that ball was in the dirt, he blocked it. He never took a pitch off. Veras, the right-hander, starting to get greased up now. Jose Veras.
And that really was the idea for Matheny. If you asked him about it, he would say, look, I want every pitcher to think, no matter what the situation is, they can feel free. If they need to bounce a pitch, I'm going to block it. And he thought that started with all the things you're talking about, the bullpen sessions, the warm-up throws. Deep in the hole is Turris, has a long throw to make, and it skipped off of Hart. Cooper was going to call Arias safe anyway.
Another base hit for Joaquin Arias. As his batting average continues to rise. I think there was a time in East Turris' career that he makes that play. But you can see he's lost a little bit of his throwing arm. Still, good effort. Corey Hart, who's playing his second game of the year at first base, not able to come up with that one hopper.
Brand new to the position, really played a little first base in the minor leagues. But injury at that position, he's going to be playing a lot of first now for the Brewers. Sherholtz takes the breaking ball for a strike.
And again, I mean, how steady has Lowe been with that first pitch flop breaking ball to steal strike one? Nobody's even swung at it.
Yeah. And that's the pitch where, I mean, he's thrown actually some quality first pitch strikes with that. That's the one where in Belt's at bat, he just got one right down the middle of that little slider that hung, and he took it. Turned out that was the best pitch to hit in the sequence. Fastball low. Talking about his Turris, I mentioned it on the radio side. On this day, May 23rd, back in 2002, Sean Green, right here at Miller Park, had his 4-home run, 6-hit day. So a decade ago, right here in this park, and his Turris led off for the Dodgers that day. Played in that game with Sean Green. So he's been around for a long time. Still the all-time record total bases by a hitter in a game. He had 4 home runs, a single, and a double. Just a little debris.
It's a pretty good paper airplane.
Arias is running, and Sherholtz hits a foul.
There's somebody up here in this stadium that's pretty proud of that throw. Thing almost went on the pitcher's mound.
I guess that was probably the target, huh?
Just getting on the field's the target. The fact that that thing almost went on the mound, that's impressive.
Maybe it's because the roof is half open.
They just had the national championships recently.
The paper airplane national championships?
Yeah, there was some controversy.
Swing and a miss. Sherholtz strikes out.
There's been a guy who'd won it for a bunch of years in a row, and all of a sudden they had another guy come in, designed the airplane, but he had a proxy throw it for him. And I guess the guy was a baseball player, had a pretty good arm, and the incumbent champion was not happy. They cried foul, and the judges said sorry.
Now,
it's good.
How do you know all this?
I'm into paper airplanes.
Deep knowledge of the paper airplane circuit.
I was skimming a newspaper, and there was a little article on it. As soon as they said there was a baseball player involved, I hung in there and read it.
Burris, just a slow chop to second. Weeks will throw him out. The Giants are retired. Here in Milwaukee, it's been a wild game. 8-5 Brewers.
Giants baseball on Comcast Sportsnet Bay Area is brought to you by Wendy's. Wendy's chili cheese fries, natural cut sea salt fries, loaded with meaty chili and ooey gooey cheese sauce.
8-5 Brewers. They led 8-0 after 2 innings in this game. The series finale in Milwaukee here at Miller Park. I don't know what to think about that Brewers fan.
I'm not thinking he's believing right now.
No. This is a Brewers team that won, 96 games last year, won the division. They've been a playoff kind of team for years now. Exciting ball in Milwaukee.
Tough world, big league athletics.
Not even 2 months into the year, they're wearing paper bags. Man, that ball bat went flying. It looks like everybody's okay down there. Got to be heads up.
Well, watch out for flying bats and balls.
Emphasis that time on the bat. Carlos Gomez helicoptered that one over there. Luke's way outside with another slider.
All right, look at this thing go in. Caught a guy on the hand. He took most of the heat on it. Well, if the bat throw becomes an Olympic event, you got to consider Carlos Gomez as a legitimate contender.
Might be good at throwing paper airplanes too. We don't know. 3-1 to Gomez, who is 0 for 2 in this game. Foul that one off. Swinging away. He's a very aggressive hitter. Does not take many walks. He was really the key player when Johan Santana was traded away from the Twins to the Mets. This was the guy that the Twins targeted. Now he's here in Milwaukee, but he was supposed to be a star.
Well, he's very athletic. You can see why they were excited about him.
Bounces that one to Arias. And Arias throws him out. Well, if you can't watch the Giants on Comcast Sportsnet, Take the Giants with you with MLB.tv. If you're on the road, just subscribe to MLB.tv today to see every out-of-market Giants game live online in HD quality. SFGiants.com. That's the place to go to order and get more details. There's some Giants fans here in Wisconsin. We've seen a good number of them here in Milwaukee this week. 8th place hitter Cesar is Turris. Takes ball 1. There's some more.
Well, we talked a little bit in last night's ball game about how we're so accustomed to seeing Giants fans all over the division. You go to Arizona or San Diego, Colorado, LA. You're starting to see more and more Giants fans make trips across the country to other cities. And if you're ever thinking about coming to Milwaukee, make the trip. It is fantastic. A lot of fun. People here are just incredibly nice. Love their baseball. Love their city. Now, you found this out yesterday when you were tailgating. Who are your buddies here?
Look at my new friends. Well, I just wanted to sort of check out the Brewers fans, the tailgating scene outside. And these are the guys I sort of was hanging out with. They wanted to see the World Series ring. They wanted to talk ball. And they were wearing their bright overalls.
Yeah, they just broke out of prison about 4 hours earlier.
Hey, they were nice to me. Another Giants fan.
Gamer babe.
And he's back.
Well,
he's got the shirt on.
I think this is kind of a substitute.
Oh, I see. Not the same guy.
Not the real Rally Banana.
Now they're imposters. That's sort of scary.
Yeah, we saw the real Rally Banana the other night.
Yeah, that's a different guy.
And he scared us. He unveiled his boiler on TV. Well, it was impressive.
Comebacker Lukes will throw out his Turris. 2 down.
There's the real Rally Banana. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
This one much more mellow. Just as yellow, but a little more mellow. Nyjer Morgan, San Francisco's favorite visiting player, will pinch hit. A San Francisco native himself. Swings right through that first pitch from Lutz. I think the Giants would be thrilled if Lutz, whose spot leads off when the Giants come up in the 6th inning, I think they'd be thrilled if he gives them 2 scoreless. He will definitely have done his job. As the Giants trying to hang around this game. They once trailed 8-0. Bruce Bochy's got to be feeling a little better about his chances than he was after the first inning.
Well, he at least got rid of the frown. He had a good one going there about the 3rd inning.
Well, nothing was going right. The Giants made errors. Zito didn't pitch well. Morgan, a little broken bat looper into center field for a 2-out pinch hit single. The umpires missed a couple calls. Bruce Bochy was grouchy, but 3 runs in the 3rd, 2 in the 4th, and Shane Lutz with some solid relief pitching have probably changed his outlook on this game.
Eric Cooper, the first base umpire, he's had a rough day.
Yeah. Jeff Kellogg. Bochy's been upset at Kellogg, but more so, I think, the frustration with those calls at first.
Well, that was an early call today. Bags normally on a day game have to be in 9:30. Bus leaves at 10 today. It had to be there at 8:30. Bus left at 9. And boys kind of came in a little sleepy-eyed. I think Bochy was going to give them the day off of batting practice until he saw how sleepy they were, and he said, we need to get out there and take some batting practice, wake this bunch up. So they took a light round of batting practice on the field, but they did indeed all get on the field.
Hart with a base hit. Past the reach of Burris. Morgan will stop at second, but back-to-back singles for the Brewers against Lukes. Now with the left-handed hitting Aoki coming up, the Brewers have a chance to score for the first time since the second inning.
Now this becomes a very important part of this ball game right here. Lukes has a chance to get out of it. He's sitting on 2 outs. He only needs 1. So all of his concentration could go to Aoki. But Giants need another 0 on the board because they got the top of the lineup coming up next inning. And they need to keep that deficit at 3.
Aoki takes a strike. First pitch fastball from Lukes. This Brewers right fielder was right in the middle of the rallies in the first and the second inning. Scored 2 runs. He's had a pretty good series against the Giants.
Yeah, he's been impressive. Very, very unusual stride step to the ball. He swings that front foot out, but I've never seen that. Guys are so concerned about balance, and when you swing your leg out, you can really take balance off your back leg. But he's had great success with it. 3 batting titles in Japan, 7-time All-Star. But you have to keep the ball down on him. They found out last night he's a premier high ball hitter. He took a ball literally at shoulder height, top of the shoulder height, off Matt Cain and raked it to right center. Got to put the ball right where Lukes just put it, down around the knees. If you miss below the strike zone. Do not miss up.
Lukes wants to pay attention to Nyjer Morgan, who's got good speed out there, just to try to limit his lead and jump away from second. Morgan's got enough speed, though. A base hit to the outfield, and almost certainly he's going to score. Way up and outside. Ball 2. Now, you don't want this inning, as much as the Giants have contained Ryan Braun here today, their best hitter is waiting on deck. So you don't want the inning to get to Braun. With runners out on the bases. Ball 3. 1 pitch away from getting to Ryan Braun. 2 outs, bases empty, but a pinch hit single from Morgan, base hit from Hart, and now a full count to Aoki. And the Giants bullpen is quiet, so this is Luke's spot. He's got to get through this. Runners will take off. There they go, and Aoki strikes out swinging. So Lukes gets through the little jam onto the 6. Giants trail by 3.
Time for the Coors Light Freeze Can. We go back to the innings where the Giants scored. This was a double off the bat of Hector Sanchez with the bases loaded. That scored 3. Here's a single from Brandon Crawford that produced a run, and it was a Milky Cabrera double that knocked in Brandon Crawford. Those are the 3 hits that produce runs, and that's our Coors Light Freeze Can brought to you by Frost Brewed Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer.
Well, it's time for a change. Think Speedy Oil Change and Tune-Up. Your oil change, tune-up, and smog experts. 8-5 game Brewers leading, and the 4th pitcher already for Milwaukee, Jose Veras, hard-throwing right-hander with some real good stuff. Comes on in the 6th, typically reserved for the later innings, but the starter for Milwaukee had to leave after 1 with a leg injury.
Now, the one thing that Ron Renicky, the skipper of the Brewers, has going for him, though, is that they do have an off day tomorrow, so he can extend his bullpen. But that's tough. You can't take many of those hits during the course of a season.
Giants got just 3 innings out of their starter, Barry Zito, not because of injury. Here's Shane Lukes. Giants will use a pinch hitter for him. Brett Pill will bat against Veras. Takes a slider from Veras for a called strike.
Boy, the way these bullpen guys for the Brewers have been coming in, you have to believe it's a philosophy of theirs. They throw a lot of first pitch slide balls. See nothing but first pitch breakers.
Bill could use a hit. Takes that fastball high.
Veras throws hard. You'll see 93, 96 mile-an-hour fastballs off his arm. And for the most part, the only specialty pitch you're going to see is that slider.
There it is again.
It's a good one.
Setup man for the Pirates, traded in the offseason, that Casey McGee deal. And he's become sort of the secondary setup man for the Brewers. They have K-Rod ahead of Axford. Bill strikes out swinging on a slider. Brett Pill's struggles continue. Now the leadoff man, Angel Pagan, comes up. Pagan is 1 for 3, infield hit, and scored a run. A couple of strikeouts on called strike 3s. Pagan hit that one foul. Well, he was ready for it.
Good balance of the swing. You bet. He was up there looking for that.
At some point, you got to start looking for it. See if you can get one to hit.
Every first pitch is good enough but sliders. Go up there and look slider speed.
Pagan, who has been so hot at the plate lately, but he did have to miss the first game of this series with illness, and Bruce Bochy says he, even now a couple days later, still not 100%. Hits that one pretty well to left field, but Braun in the last remaining sunshine for the catch. Only left field still lit up in the sun with half of the roof closed. Never seen that before here in Milwaukee. So there's the only part of the field still drenched in the sun.
Well, it made sense, though. I mean, it kept it so that there was no shadow between home plate and the mound.
Yeah, I think it worked. This is a place where, I mean, I don't know if you'd agree with me, maybe the worst in baseball in terms of visibility during a day game, with all the reflections and the shadows, a lot of glare.
Well, architecturally it's gorgeous, but I think the practicality of having a lot of windows on the first base side allows wind to come in. Does play havoc with some shadows. It's not a ballpark that is very easy to play day games in because of it. But it sure is a pretty yard.
Crawford 2 for 3, and he's knocked in a run, scored a run, but he's behind in the count 0-2 after the Veras slider.
And Crawford takes a walk. Thought that pitch was low.
Here's sort of what you were talking about, Mike, in that Veras, he's only thrown 9 pitches now. If this is a quick inning, I think Ron Renicky will have no problem using him for the 7th, pushing him a little bit today. And Crawford strikes out swinging. So on 10 pitches, the Giants are retired in order. Middle of the 6th, 8-5 Brewers. In Milwaukee, our Chevron pitching matchup for tomorrow, game 1 of the series in Miami. Anibal Sanchez, who's been so tough on the Giants in his career, against Ryan Vogelsong, who may be throwing the ball better than any Giant starter these last few turns around the rotation. So a nice matchup to kick off that 4-game set at brand new Marlins Park in Miami. 8-5 Brewers here. It was 8-0 after 2 innings. The Giants have rallied, and yet still 3 runs down. Time for a change. Think speedy oil change and tune-up. Your oil change, tune-up, and smog expert Steve Edlifson out of the Giants bullpen, 3rd pitcher of the game for Bruce Bochy.
Edlifson, 9th time that he's come in for Bruce Bochy. No record, ERA 4.0 across the board. He is the sinker baller specialist, the guy that gets the most ground balls.
We saw the tail end of the race, Mike.
Oh, Chorizo got off to a very poor start. Keep your eye on Italian.
And that was my pick, number 1, out in front, the leader the whole way. But talk about fading down the home stretch.
Yeah, Bratwurst. See you later, pal.
Nothing left in the tank.
So Maria Jacinto, who's our senior director of broadcast services and our boss, she goes 2-2 because she bets Chorizo every time.
2 wins on Monday. He had 2 sausage races in the 14-inning game. Here's Braun back up again for the 4th time. Edlifson missed with that first pitch. Bratwurst, hot dog, Polish, Italian, and Chorizo. In some order. I don't know if I got the order right. Braun 0 for 2 with a couple of strikeouts, and he doesn't look real happy.
No, 0 for 2 days with a couple of strikeouts will not make a slugger happy. He's happy though. He's got a foul ball.
Yeah. Strike 2. And Braun's got the bad body language going today.
He's doing that more and more. I guess when you have an MVP under your belt, you can start doing that more and more, but he does a lot. Don't want to get the reputation as being a whiner. You just don't.
Well, he went to bunt and strikes out.
I cannot explain why he went to bunt.
Wow.
Remember when Benji Molina a few years ago almost got trampled? Look out, Benji. Yeah, okay.
One of the all-time great sausage races here. Never gets old. A little more conventional today. I'm still sort of speechless after watching Braun try to bunt with 2 strikes and strike out.
Well, he's got to be hurt. There's no way that a slugger is going to go up there and bunt 1-2. There's no way.
You hate to say you hope he's hurt, but otherwise, what could it possibly be? Ramirez, ground ball right through the hole.
I don't know what it could possibly be, but this is a 1-2 count for a guy with 12 homers and 31 RBIs trying to bunt. Are you kidding me? And if he's not hurt, Ron Rennecke's going to have to try and explain this after the game. And there is no explanation for that unless he's hurt.
Rennecke may have to explain it, but so is Ryan Braun. I mean, he may still be talking about that.
Well, I mean, that's something you could write a column on.
Lucroy takes outside, ball 1. Well, here's the guy to avoid. If the Giants, again, it's still just the 6th inning. It's been a long game because of all the offense early on. Giants have lots of outs still to go at the plate, but if they want to have a realistic chance, you got to contain this guy who's so hot. 2 more hits today, including a home run and a double. 2 batted in, 2 runs scored. So it's 2-0 to Lucroy.
Now watch the pancake from Hector Sanchez as to how he catches that ball that's low. And I mean, it's hard to get your elbow down below a ball that's below the strike zone, but that's where he is going to improve as he learns to catch up here at this level.
That's a strike. Well, I mean, especially when you got a sinker baller who lives down at the bottom of the zone, you as a catcher got to be able to help sell some of those pitches.
You know, it's great. Hector Sanchez had a nice compliment for Bob Uecker, who we were talking yesterday. He says, I like your young catcher, Hector Sanchez. I go, he's raw. He says, but I think he's going to be a good player up here. And Bob Uecker's an old catcher, so I thought that's a pretty good compliment.
Inside, ball 3 to Lucroy. We've heard that a lot about Hector, and not just about his hitting, but about improvements defensively, how scouts watch him and say, hey, he's getting better. This is a guy who's learning on the fly, and he's got a quick release and a really strong arm. He can throw. Ramirez not a threat to run away from first. Short lead over there. That's a strike over the outside.
One thing Edlifson does is he will give his catcher a chance to throw out a runner. He's quick to home.
Good overall athlete, former infielder. 3-2. Lucroy hits it foul.
Ouch, that caught all bare hand too. Ooh. That was bad.
Hector's in a lot of pain. Ooh.
If it's an index finger or a middle finger, you catch it on the tip, there's no way you can throw it for a while. It looks straight, and that's the good news. Hands exposed. Oh, man, that hurts.
Ooh.
Buster Posey saw that, immediately started getting loose. That's how you break a finger.
Dave Greshner's testing those fingers. It could be hard to figure out what's going on. They would have to be so numb. It'd take a minute before you could determine anything.
Well, I guarantee they're burning. And And the point you make about being numb is an excellent one, because you can't throw. I mean, if you're Ron Renicky, the skipper of the Brewers, I mean, you're going to start. You might think about running on this next pitch with Aramis Ramirez at first base, even though he's not a base stealer, because you don't know what type of throwing capabilities he has. Watch the right hand. Lit him up.
Test out that hand and the throwing. Oh, I don't think he can feel the ball.
Well, Bruce Bochy can sympathize. He's an old catcher. It's happened to him. All you have to do is look at his right hand to know what happened to him. He got fingers pointing in all different directions.
Well, at least at the moment, Hector's staying in this game, trying to tough it out. But he's saying he's all right. I don't think he's all right.
Well, Jonathan LaCroix, the catcher for the Brewers, in the batter's box, I mean, he recognizes the symptoms. You don't even want to look when you get hit.
The count is full. We'll see if Ramirez does run away from first. On Edlifson's 3-2 pitch coming up. No, a throw to first before that. Giants sure anticipate that.
Very quick move. The point you made about Edlifson being an old infielder was a good one. It really shows up the way he fields his position, the way he holds runners on. That I think he does as well as anybody on the staff.
Ramirez was not running, and that's a double play ball. Crawford to Burris to Belt for the double play. Good pitching by Edlifson. Kipe will come back over and join you on television. Giants trail the Brewers 8-5.
Time now for our Toyota game summary, brought to you by your local Toyota dealer. For the Giants, 5 runs on 8 hits, 2 errors. The Brewers, 8 runs on 9 hits, no errors. And the Giants, down 8-0 in this ball game, have rallied back to within 3. Shane Lukes has done a good job. Held the Brewers scoreless in his 2 innings. The big swing of the bat for the Giants, Hector Sanchez, bases loaded double back in the 3rd inning. Marco Estrada, the starter for the Brewers, had to leave the game with a strained hip flexor. But the hero for the Brewers, as it so often has been lately, Jonathan LaCroix. That's your Toyota game summary. It's the top of the 7th, 8-5 Brewers. Here again, Dwayne Kuiper.
All righty. And it'll be Melky Cabrera facing Jose Veras. And Cabrera fouls this one into the seats. very perplexed. I am just perplexed at this game. I think you start a game at what, 12-10, and just weird stuff is going to happen.
Well, we've seen some weird stuff. We saw two weird things last inning. We saw Ryan Braun try to bunt with 2 strikes. That doesn't make sense.
And Aramis Ramirez not running after Sanchez got hit on the throwing hand. That doesn't make sense. The whole first inning didn't make sense as far as I was concerned.
Brewers scored 6 in the bottom of the first.
Rivera fouls it back because he had a nice cut.
Well, he had to go down and get that one after that last pitch down low was called a strike. It has been a low strike zone from Jeff Kellogg today. A little bit lower than perhaps we're normally used to seeing him have.
Hector Sanchez and then Brandon Belt. And that pitch is high. 1-2. Greenwald, our old partner, used to say, if you start a game an hour earlier than you're supposed to, it's going to be really weird.
Giants fan?
Hank was never too far off.
No, he was not.
2-2 to Cabrera. Got him. By the way, look, that's probably a strike. This is also a day that it's been weird for the umpires, too.
That's 5 called strike threes. Against the Giants, they have struck out as a team 11 times today.
Here's Hector Sanchez. His big hit, a double with the bases loaded in the 3rd inning. Belt to follow. And it's a 3-run ball game. 8-5 Milwaukee. When you get a blowout starting pitcher like Milwaukee, the toughest innings to fill in are 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Because you've got your 8th inning guy and you've got your closer. But maybe more so 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Those are the tough ones.
Yeah.
And somebody's going to have to go longer than they're used to going.
Yeah, it is a tough request to ask to get 8 innings out of your bullpen, especially when they've been having to pitch pretty consistently the last week coming into the blowout.
This is pulled on the ground to Hart. Saturday, June 2nd is our annual Junior Giants Glove Drive, and it's always presented by Bank of America. Over 9,000 kids who play Junior Giants baseball do not own their gloves. So on that day, June 2nd, bring a new or used glove or make a $10 donation. On Saturday, June 2nd, you receive a Brian Wilson Gnome pin or a Giants Cubs Series pin. Both those pins are fabulous. Now, if you don't make it to the game, you could also help by donating money online at jrgiants.org. Again, donate at jrgiants.org.
Well, Brandon Belt has got an 0 for 3 going. Both his strikeouts were called strike threes on pitches that he thought were low. So in this at bat, he needs to expand, especially if the ball's down.
Hit well into left center field. It's carrying out to Braun, and that'll end the inning. Bottom of the 7th coming up. It remains 8-5 Milwaukee.
Giants baseball on Comcast Sportsnet Bay Area is brought to you by Jack in the Box. Right now at Jack in the Box, you can try the new Chipotle Chicken Club. Make it a combo with fries and a drink. And by GoPro, the world's most versatile HD camera. Be a hero. Go Pro.
Yep, that explains it. It's a strange one. Here in Milwaukee, 8-5. Oh, a kite park. I've seen a lot of those in my day. 8-5 Milwaukee.
You used to fly kites when you were a kid?
I used to try. I could never get them up.
Kites were tired when we were a kid. Kites work now.
And well, the thing you had to do is you had to put the kite together. And by the time I did that, I was tired of it.
Had a tail on it.
Here's Weeks as he rolls one foul.
Now they have kits. You put them out, get them out of the bag, you put them together, and before you even get the thing done, the thing's flying. It just takes right off.
He had to run, and mine, I'd run 10 steps, and it was dive bobbing into the ground.
Oh, yeah. See you later.
And my dad never liked to run, so he wasn't going to do it.
No.
Weeks takes down low. So Edlifson got the big double play in the 6th inning as Weeks lines this one out to Cabrera, and Cabrera makes the catch. Ricky Weeks is going to think he's never ever going to get another hit.
It's the way it works. Slumps can make you talk to yourself.
Here's Gomez. Gomez is hitless in 3 at-bats. On the ground off the end of the bat to Burris, and Gomez is gone.
Well, check out Sportsnet Central tonight at 6 o'clock. You'll get reaction from the Giants clubhouse. Jim Harbaugh will talk about the 49ers OTAs and 30 Giants in 30 days. They're going to talk about Tommy Joseph, the 19-year-old young catcher of the Giants minor league system that has such a bright future. All that and more tonight. Sportsnet Central tonight, 6 p.m. only on Comcast.
30 Giants in 30 days is great, especially if there's some of the young people that nobody ever hears about.
Yeah.
They had one on Heath Hembry the other day. This is his Turris, who's 1 for 3. Chopped foul.
That was the AT&T U-verse Sportsnet Central. That's a good show.
It is. Inside to is Turris. In at third is Arias. Taking the bunt away from his Turris. You see the shadow now. Only the left fielder has to deal with it. Hit foul and a souvenir down the left field line, 2-2.
You watch where Milky Cabrera is playing in left field. It reminds you of when Barry Bonds first came to San Francisco and he used to play that close to the line. In fact, he would even get closer. When Bill Swift and John Burkett used to throw both sinker ballers. And Bonds knew left-handers, when they hit the sinker ballers, like you see on the mound right now, Steve Edlifson, if you hit it to left field, it has to go to the line. Remember, we used to look at the gap between Bonds and Darren Lewis in center, and it was enormous. But pitcher movement, hitter swing types, they tell you where to play. And I think Cabrera is playing perfectly.
And the 2-2 is chapped. It's going to be a tough play. is Crawford's going to glove it and throw it, and it throws wide. So another infield hit for his tour. Taylor Green is going to hit.
Well, it was going to be a do-or-die play, and I'm not sure what type of grip he had on it, and I can bet you it wasn't very good.
That's the curse of the sinker ball, though. You get a little high chops. So here's Taylor Green. Green, a left-handed hitter, and Edelson will check on Izturis. Green hitting .200. He's 6 for 30. He is 0 for 3 as a pinch hitter. And he takes a strike. That's that low strike that Jeff Kellogg has had. There's Francisco Rodriguez in the bullpen. He will be in to pitch the 8th inning. In tight, 1 ball and 1 strike. And the pitch is high, so Edelson rarely throws the pitch above the belt, but he did there, and it's 2-1.
Yeah, the rule of thumb, if you're a sinker baller, the higher you throw the pitch, the more sink you lose.
So it's 2-1 to Green. Fouled at the plate. Green catches the ball. It's 2-2. So we can see New York tomorrow, big boy. And
I'm psyched.
It's a good thing.
I am psyched about seeing Marlins Stadium. Is it Marlins Field or Stadium? What is it? Marlins Park?
Yep. All 3 of those.
We'll find out tomorrow.
2-2 to Green, and leaning was his tourist. 4 games in South Florida. For the first time ever, the Giants will stay in downtown Miami.
I'm looking forward to that too.
Yeah. It's hard to leave here, though, I got to tell you.
Well, I would expect you to say that, having been raised here about 12 miles away.
This is smoked right at Sherholtz, and that'll end the inning. 8th inning coming up. Giants trail by 3.
Giants baseball on Comcast Sportsnet Bay Area is brought to you by McGraw Power Sports. Genuine motorcycle insurance for over 30 years. Ride with the real deal.
Here in Milwaukee, it's an 8-5 lead for the Brewers. When it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change and Tune-Up, your oil change tune-up and smog expert.
Francisco Rodriguez, the setup man for the Brewers, coming in now. 21st time, 0-3 with an ERA of 4.91. Got 3 good pitches he can strike out with. He is got a fastball that'll go low 90s. He's got a big curveball and a changeup. And they're all good. And he kind of jumps at you. Got a little funkiness to his delivery.
Well, the best way to get back and get a little closer in this one is you got the bottom of the order. You try to set it up for the top of the order. It'll be Arias, Scherholtz, and Burris, and then the pitcher spot. And this is high and foul in a souvenir. It's no balls and 1 strike. Arias today is 2 for 3.
Giants fans, got the whole family.
So the 2 hits for Arias jumped his average to 253. And he strokes one into left field, and that's a start. And his 3rd hit.
Well, Wednesday, May 30th is Autism Awareness Night at the ballpark. The event features Giants great Will Clark, who's a major supporter of the fight against autism. Your special package will include a ticket to the game in one of the autism awareness sections and a bobblehead of Will the Thrill depicting his first Major League at-bat against Nolan Ryan. So partial proceeds from each special ticket purchase will be donated to Autism Speaks. For tickets, call 415-972-2298 or you can go to sfgiants.com/special events.
Here's Nate Scherholtz. And Scherholtz takes low.
There's a woman right below our booth, and she says she is a gamer babe from Kipe Town. So I guess we're in Kipe Town right now, huh, Mr. Kuiper?
I don't know. I think it's Ryan Braun Town, to be honest with you. Down low to Scherholtz. Could be Aaron Rodgers Town.
Yeah. No.
But I got, give me just a little slice. I don't want a lot.
I don't see a sign that says Braun Town or Rodgers Town, but I do see a sign that says Gamer Babe from Kipe Town.
1 ball and 1 strike.
There you go.
Arias goes, swinging a foul.
He had a good jump. There she is.
And the picture of you and I when we got to sit in the car during the parade.
Oh yeah. Kipe Town. It's no longer Milwaukee, big boy. It is Kipe Town.
All right.
And leave it to a gamer babe to point that out to me.
Scherholtz in a battle, 1-2. And he stays alive. The thing about Rodriguez is he'll make you wait in that stretch. And that used to tick me off because you get a rhythm going as a hitter. Guy comes set and he throws, comes set and he throws. And Rodriguez doesn't do that.
No, he will definitely hold you.
Arias goes, swinging a pop-up. This is playable for Ramirez, and Nate Scherholtz is retired. Scherholtz 0 for 3 tonight. And here's Emmanuel Burris. Burris is 1 for 3. Buster Posey now coming out. So it would be very nice if Emmanuel Burris could reach, bringing Buster Posey and the tying run to the plate. at the knees, 0-1. Giants last scored in the 4th inning. Since then, they've had an infield hit by Arias in the 5th and a line drive to left field here in the 8th. Other than that, only 2 base runners since that 4th inning. Here's the 0-1 coming up to Burris, and it's inside, 1 ball and 1 strike.
That's a pretty deep set for Emmanuel Burris in the outfield. They take away the bunt on the left side of the infield with Aramis Ramirez playing in on the grass, third base. I think Burris has more pop in his bat from the right side than the left side. Yeah. And he does not have an extra base hit this year. So that makes him due, partner.
For a second, you were making the call. Two and one. Right now, the Giants will take a walk. Out of play, 2-2. All right. A lot of man happiness down the left field line.
Oh yeah. They're gonna beat each
That's
other
called
up.
right there.
What's that?
Too much tailgating.
They've been here since 7 this morning. Come on.
Two-two pitch coming up to Emmanuel Burris, and here it is. And Burris bounces this one foul. Arias with his lead, and another 2-2 pitch coming up to Burris. Here it is, and Burris stays alive.
Oh, what a play. That was a big league pick. All right, let's watch it. Reached high over his head, high backhander. That's a play right there.
And he hands it to his son.
That's my dad.
Great. Lucroy setting up off the plate. Arias goes, and Burris on a check swing, no swing, and Arias with a stolen base.
Well, you could definitely steal on Frankie Rodriguez. He is slow to home. And guys that can strike guys out, sometimes they don't care. Rob Nim never really made it a priority out of the stretch because he knew he could strike you out. Tim Lincecum, when he first came up, very slow, and he knew he could strike you out.
Dennis Eckersley didn't worry about it. 3-2 to Burris. And Burris with another souvenir down the left field line. 15 pitches thrown by Francisco Rodriguez.
Now, if 1.25 seconds is normal unload time from the guy starts this motion to when the ball gets to the catcher, Rodriguez is 1.55, 1.6 consistently, and that's slow. Each 1/10 of a second is 3 feet.
And another 3-2 pitch, and it's strike 3 call.
And Bochy barking to Jeff Kellogg about the low strike zone. We've seen it all day.
That's not a strike.
It's low. We've seen it all night long. And we talked about Kellogg at the beginning of the broadcast, one of the more consistent umpires. And today he has set it low. I mean, he's kept it there all game. He hasn't varied from it. But we have seen a lot of rubbernecking from guys not used to seeing those low strikes called.
So here's Posey. Inside to Buster Posey.
This is the one on Angel Pagan that was rung up. See how the ball was caught from Lucroy. I mean, Lucroy's getting a lot of those pitches for him. The way he's snatching. He's a good receiver. Good framer.
Posey in this series 1 for 5 on Monday. He hit the home run in the first inning, the 3-run shot. Yesterday 2 for 4 with 3 RBIs. 6 RBIs in 2 games. A walk here brings a tying run to the plate.
Rodriguez could definitely have innings where he'll throw a lot of pitches. Not close.
Maybe Rodriguez wanted to face his old teammate.
Well, he's going to have the chance. So there's going to be a meeting at the mound. Rick Kranitz coming out to try and get Rodriguez back in the strike zone. But Rodriguez going to face a guy that he played a couple years with in New York, Angel Pagan. And the Giants have the tie and run in the batter's box for the first time today. We saw it done before, September 4th, 1989 in Cincinnati, down 8-0. We came back 9 runs in the last 3 innings.
That's right, all done by the Scribinis.
It was awesome.
Roger Craig decided to take out the regulars, or most of them. First pitch to Pagan, he's way out in front, and it's no balls and 1 strike.
Just setting him up.
You think?
I hope.
Two for 3 lifetime with a big fly. That's the history. Pagan against Rodriguez.
Rodriguez is not going to give in. I mean, he's going to stay to a corner, throw it nasty. He just never, ever gives in. Nice block. You'll never see him just give you a here, hit me fastball. He just won't do it. Let's watch the block. I mean, that's perfect textbook fundamentals put on by Lucroy. And he's had those fundamentals the day he walked into the big leagues. We were impressed with how still he sat, the target he had, the blocking ability. I think he's one of the best blockers in the game.
Two balls and a strike on the fastball inside. Arias at second. Posey at first. 8th inning. Crawford would hit if Pagan extends the inning. It's 8-5 Milwaukee here in the 8th. Same spot. 3-1.
Stand on the corners. And don't expect anything different here in the 3-1 pitch.
I mean, he might throw a changeup here. out of play, and you got a fastball to hit. It's 3-2. So the runners will be on the move. Vargas at second, Posey at first. So here's Rodriguez as he goes after Angel Pagan, and the 3-2 pitch is bounced foul.
3-2 curveball. One thing Rodriguez has never lacked, and that's the confidence to throw a pitch. That's why you never can sit on anything in a 3-2 count. He'll liable to throw any one of the three nasties he's got. And if he throws a fastball, he's not going to just lay it out there at the belt. He's going to think corner.
And the payoff is fouled out of play, and there was that fastball after you've seen some junk. It's still 3-2.
And he burned his hands with it.
Arias and Posey getting the workout, running 3-2. So we'll do it again. Rodriguez sets, and he throws to Pagan, and Pagan stays alive. Big bouncer in and out of that Brewers dugout.
3-2 curveball. 28 pitches so far in the inning for Rodriguez. And this is the norm.
3-2. And here it comes. And Pagan strikes out on a pitch in the dirt. Bottom of the 8th coming up. 8-5 Milwaukee. The game. This one comes from Matt Cain on Milky Cabrera's throw last night to get Aoki at the plate. He says that was ridiculous. In my mind, I was thinking, okay, that's one run. He comes up firing and makes a perfect throw, and I think that changed the momentum of the game. And we agree with him. Let's take a look at this magnificent play one more time. A man on third, nobody out, and look how deep the fly ball is. A little momentum comes in, and Aoki, who runs here on third, out by a bunch. An absolute perfect strike from Cabrera to Posey. And I agree with Matt Cain. That was ridiculous. Yes, it was. 8-5 Milwaukee. When When it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change and Tune-Up. Your oil change tune-up and smog experts. Clay Hensley is on to face the top of the order, Corey Hart.
There you see his numbers. 21st time he's come in this year for Bruce Bochy. 1-3, 2.12 ERA. 14 strikeouts in 17 innings. Crafty.
Hart with a bunt. Foul.
Ooh, not by much.
That almost clipped the corner of third base.
Well, Arias is playing back. There you see. I mean, it went to within 3 feet of the bag before it finally did go foul.
Well, I tell you what, if Hart and Braun and those guys are going to start bunting, the ground crew is going to have to do a little bit of level job. Seriously.
They're doing you a favor. You know, Braun doing it with a 2-strike count. I mean, here's a guy with 12 home runs, and he was not hurt. He went right back out to left field. Get a guy like Corey Hart who's got 9 home runs. If he's bunting, he's doing you a favor. I can't explain it.
I can.
Salary drive.
12-10 start. Inside to Hart. 2 balls and 1 strike. Hit up the middle. Crawford sets and throws. 1 out. Here's Aoki. Aoki scored twice in this game. And he takes a fastball high. Aoki reached on an error, a Zito error in the first inning when he was bunting. Had an infield hit in the second, which Eric Cooper missed the call at first. Aoki was out, but he eventually scored. After that, he's lined out and struck out. Three and 0. Well, turn into the Murph and Mack Morning Show on KNBR tomorrow morning. I'll talk about the game with Murph and Mack on KNBR 680, the sports leader. So the walk to Aoki. So here's Braun. Braun walked and scored in the first. Actually, Zito thought he had him struck out. Remember that pitch?
Yeah, I think he did have him struck out.
And after that, Zito did strike him out in the second. Luke struck him out in the fourth. Edlifson struck him out in the sixth.
He has never struck out 4 times in a game. He has no sombreros, so this is his chance.
Bounce foul. This was the pitch we're talking about. Now, you know, it's funny, Mike, is ever since then that pitch has been called a strike.
Yeah, I just don't think it was caught correctly, and that's why Zito didn't get the strikeout. But maybe that's why he bunted his last at bat. He wanted to avoid the hat trick. Now look at how low this thing is on Belt. But you see how it was received from Lucroy. And catchers make a difference is the way they receive the ball. And what Lucroy has learned at the big league level.
Runner goes, and this is pulled foul.
Hector Sanchez has to learn it here. But he can hit. And when a guy can hit like Sanchez, you can afford to be a bit patient as he learns the finer points of the catching position. They're not easy. They take time.
Hit near the bag. Crawford will step, throw, and he throws it away. And Braun will be aboard as he reaches on the fielder's choice.
Kind of an awkward step to the bag, and it may have thrown the balance off as his ankle kind of bent a little bit as he hit the side of the bag. Watch the right ankle kind of bend in a little bit. And not a whole lot that Belt could do.
So here's Ramirez. No sombrero.
No sombrero. No 4 strikeout day for Ryan Braun.
Ramirez tried to hit one out, fouls it back. A couple of hits for Aramis Ramirez, 4 plate appearances. Saw John Axford in the bullpen getting loose. Check out the bullpen's numbers.
13 innings, no runs allowed. That is just sensational. They have finally settled into nice roles. I mean, you cannot tell me you take Brian Wilson out of the mix that everybody is going to lock into a comfort zone immediately. And it's taken them a while, but they have done it. You're not going to replace Brian Wilson, but everybody has to assume different roles with his absence. And they have really been sensational in this series.
Braun goes. It's a pitch out. Sanchez throw late. So Braun running pretty well for being banged up.
Yeah. So
I'm not buying it.
The strain on the groin, the strain on the Achilles heel. He steals this thing easily.
I'm not buying it.
Ron had to lead the game in the extra inning ball game, game 1 of the series, with a groin strain. So the second time today he has surprised us. First time was when he tried to bunt with 2 strikes.
So it's 1-1 to Ramirez. Big breaking ball, 1-2. And that'll do it. Ramirez strikes out. We'll go to the 9th. Giants need 3 to tie and 4 to take the lead.
Comcast Sportsnet, part of the NBC Sports Group.
Here it's 8-5 Milwaukee. It's time for Change Things Speedy Oil Change and Tune-Up. Your oil change tune-up and smog experts.
John Axe, the closer for the Brewers, coming in for the 17th time this year. 0-2, 6 for 7 in save-offs. They had a lot of save opportunities of late. 24 strikeouts in 14 1/3 gives you an idea what type of stuff he has. He can get wild, but the fastball will go 94-98. He's got a curveball slider combination, and he can feature some electricity.
So Crawford will lead things off. Giants need to get 2 base runners on to get the tying run to the plate. And Crawford takes a strike. He's 2 for 4, 2 singles and 2 strikeouts. This is the breaking ball. It's 0-2.
That's a good one. You're immediately aware of the velocity of the fastball before you even get into it. Just watching the guy warm up. I mean, he could bring it. Could be a bit straight, but it's a high 3/4 release. That means that his breaking ball is going to be an acute angle. It's almost a 12-6 curveball, and it's dirty. You just saw it to Crawford, and there it is again. That one had a little hang time on it.
And 2. '98. You don't have a whole lot of time to think about whether you're going to swing or not. And Crawford chases the pitch in the dirt. 1 out here in the 9th. That'll bring up Melky Cabrera. One for 4 for Melky Cabrera. His double knocked in the last run the Giants scored. That was in the 4th inning. And a strike, and it's no balls in 1 strike.
The other thing too about Axford, because he's so tall, he's 6'5", and the high 3/4 release almost over the top. You get a lot of tilt with that fastball. He keeps the thing down around the knees. You're not seeing a lot of that ball.
Hector Sanchez on deck, and Cabrera lifts it in the seats. It's 1-2. Trailing 8-0. Then they scored 3 in the 3rd, 2 in the 4th. And Cabrera takes strike 3.
That was nasty. It's the 15th time today that there has been a Giant striking out, and this is a backdoor breaking ball that I don't even think it's possible to hit. Beautiful pitch.
7 of those looking. There's Hector Sanchez. Down low, 1 ball and no strikes. Sanchez 1 for 4, had the double to knock in 3. Sanchez now in 68 at bats, has 16 RBIs. As this should do it. And that's the ball game. So game 3 in this 3-game series goes to the Brewers. They win their last game on the homestand, and today they do it with a 6-run first second inning. And the Giants had to play catch up after that.
Well, they tried to do something they hadn't done since 1989. Let's come back from an 8-run deficit. It's just too much of a deficit to come back from. 6-run first set up the whole game, and you have to credit them. They did come close, but not close enough.
Final score: Giants drop this one. Brewers 8, Giants 5. Stay tuned. Esurance Giants postgame live starts right now. Thanks for watching San Francisco Giants baseball on Comcast Sportsnet, and it's all part of the NBC Sports Group.